You got me. You thought I was gonna miss. Fucked up. We could hear train. Fucked up. You got me. You already know what time it is, Kamara. You can't miss the hood. You got to draw the play up to run the play. If you really thought, oh, each one reach one, each one teach one. We all we got, we all we need. If you that one, then you got to know you are enough. You enough to get it all right. When everything going all wrong, we the ones that fight that good fight. We the ones that fight that good fight. We the ones that fight that good fight. You got me. Fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. Friday night edition. We gon' cut a fool tonight. You thought we wasn't gon' hero train this week? They got me fucked up. I need this. I need this. Wanna give a shout out, man, to my executive producer. Just happens to be my wardrobe coordinator. Say, baby, what I'm wearing? She said, I want you to wear that blue on your head. I say, why? She said, because blue represents water. And sometimes you got to be like water and go with the flow. Boy, I've been dealing with some things where I had to be water and I went with the flow. So here I am tonight on a Friday where I'm meant to be. Hero training. Give a shout out to her, man. Want to give a shout out to the greatest co-host in the real world and the meta world, my home girl. Before I introduce her, we had a deep conversation this week. She said, yo, Trav, I say, what's up? She said, you know, I'm starting to feel like you're ashamed of me. I say, what you mean? Why you tripping? She said, you know, we've been doing this thing for 133 weeks. Ain't nobody saw me. They just hear my voice. I say, well, say less. So tonight I'm going to let her make her debut. Alexa, tell me something good.
We all we got. We all we need.
Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trav P.
Alexa, one time.
Good God Almighty, Trav P, you blanking.
Yeah, anytime my people tell me how they feel, I show them how we keep it real. She want to be seen, now she been saw. That's why she raw. Tonight's word, deep word. Boy, I've been on a journey to understand this here word. Stability. Stability. Do you have stability in your life? What are the things that give you stability? Alexa, what is the meaning of stability? Get down.
Stability is the quality or state of being stable. It refers to a condition where things do not change or move rapidly. Stability is a characteristic of systems that resist change and maintain a consistent state. It is important for maintaining balance, equilibrium, and continuity. In physics, stability refers to the tendency of a system to return to its original state after being disturbed. In psychology, stability is important for emotional well-being and for being able to adapt to change.
Do you have stability? Can you get back to your original state after you've been disturbed or interrupted? Are you stable? Are you in a stable relationship? Do you have a stable job? Are you stable mentally? Meaning if something interrupts you and disturbs you, are you stable enough to get back under control? If you have no stability and life hits you hard and interrupts your flow, and you can't get back to yourself, you're unstable. Do you have stability? What gives you stability? We always say that the question is more powerful than the answer. We're going to use real life situations and examples to understand how stability works, because the question is more powerful than the answer. Do you have a stable job? Do you have a stable income? If you start a job, in most cases, there's a probation period. 90 days before you get hired on, before your benefits begin. Within these 90 days, you got to be steadfast, dedicated, to show your best attitude, to show that you're worthy of being accepted into the doorways of stability. Once you get hired on and you begin to realize the point scale, the discipline scale, and you know your boundaries, as long as you stay inside your boundaries, your job is secure. No matter what may happen, no matter what accident may occur, no matter how you're disturbed personally, you have vacation time, other benefits that will assure you things are in place for life to happen. That is stability. But let's just say I don't have a good work ethic or discipline, and my job is on a point system, and I get 8 points. So I've been late, called in, sick, so I build up my points to 7.5. And I got 8 months before a point come off. So in 8 months' time, I can't afford to be late. I can't afford to have a life situation. I can't afford for shit to go wrong. Now I become unstable. Because if I get interrupted, disturbed, hit with the bullshit, I might can't go back to my original state. I came upon this word, man, so deeply. Last Thursday, I had a phone call from my brother Scoop, Amar Blakeney, fellow football player at South Mecklenburg. It's crazy, man, how people can call you, man, and impact so much of your life, and realize how much they've impacted you as a part of your life throughout your life. I've told stories about Amar Blakeney's Scoot and how he taught me mentalism. And he don't know this. I just told him this the other day, a part of the journey to me being here tonight, speaking this here word about stability. I told him, I say, man, when I first went to varsity, I was weighing 260 pounds. The varsity coach told me, he said, the only way you can play running back on my team is you have to run a 4-second 40. I was the same size as the lineman. The fastest person that I knew in the world, in my world, was Amar Blakeney Scoot. He ran a 4.340. He was the fastest in the state in the 100. I studied the way he ran. I studied the way he moved. When it came for me time to run my 40, I imagined I was him. And I ran a 4.8. So I always tell that story in a way to say he impacted me. But all these years later, he called me last Thursday after I shared a memory of my football clip. He said, yo, Trav, where you get that footage? And we got to talking. And he said, you know, Trav, man, I think you would have played on the next level. He said, but don't feel bad, man. Everybody that went to college, man, that we thought was great from our city, none of them never really touched the field. I said, what you mean, man? He said, Trav, I'm telling you, man. Either they wasn't good enough or life hit them or whatever, but nobody really hit the field. So don't feel bad about yourself that you didn't get to go to the great beyond. He said your greatness was measured by everybody else's greatness, what they did in high school. I said, wow, that's deep. So he sent me on a journey, man, to understand that. So I called my cousin Curtis, who was the first person that I know went to college in my family, played college football, made it to the Dallas Cowboys. I called him about the reality of all this time, me thinking, what if? He said, yeah, man, that's how it is, man. You know, a lot of us back then didn't have stability in our life. This is when the word became the journey that leads me here. I said, what you mean, cuz? He said, well, I'm 61 years old. And during that time, none of our families really had understanding about a college education and what it took. So I was just winging it myself, man. And he said, you know, I ended up at Johnson C. Smith with a lot of other good talent. He said, you might not believe this, but I think we had one of the greatest receiving corps at that time in America at Johnson C. Smith. I say, how? He said, I'm telling you, we was all a part of a generation that didn't have no really understanding and guidance of how that college world worked. He said, but for me, it was my GPA. And it was always this one class that messed me up. I said, what it was, cuz? He said it was biology, but it was my first block. And because we didn't have stability, my mama was young. And we moved from here to here to here. So I would always have to catch the bus from a different place. He said, so as a grown man, and I look back now, man, as a father, I always wanted to give my children stability. A foundation that regardless of what life brought us, we will always have a founding base to come back to be stable, to be whole, to be functional. So it sent me deep. It made me ask the question. The question is more powerful than the answer. Am I stable? Do I have stability? And I had to examine myself in the mirror. You know, one of the things we talk about stability in Stern, we talk about a table. When it's solid and square, it's real stable. Ain't no rock in it. It's solid, it's smooth, it's like I say. But if one of the legs is shorter than the other, there's no stability. And when one hit one corner and it moved, the instability may cause whatever you're putting on it to spill over. So as I'm chewing on this word stability, it got me standing on my square. My mind, my body, my soul, my spirit. Am I stable in my mind? Ain't nobody above the bullshit. But the bullshit will make you better if you real enough and have enough understanding to deal with the bullshit. So I had to ask myself mentally, am I stable enough to withstand the bullshit? To not trip out? To not fold under pressure? To not know who I am in testing and trying times? To keep my mind right. Am I stable? Are you stable? He who tames the beast, or she who tames the beast, shall walk with God. The beast is your appetite. My appetite is a reflection of my physicality. My body represents the things that I like to eat and how I physically deal with life. If you know me and you can see me in real life, I don't really have stability. I'm unstable. I'm vulnerable. I'm making strides in the right direction. I'm losing weight. I cut off the sugar. But I'm striving and fighting for my life because I know I ain't above the bullshit. And the bullshit could come at any moment, man, and I can't get back. So I'm real enough to say, hey, look, man, are you stable? And I'm thinking about my body. I check my mind, now I'm on my body and I'm not stable. So I'm on medicine trying to put a little prop under that leg to keep it from rocking. You see how this works? Ain't nobody above the bullshit. But the bullshit will make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. Sometimes the shit you got to deal with is your own self and being true to yourself. It's okay. It's all right. We all got to fight a good fight. But I got to get stability. I got to. I got a wife and 2 children depending on me. And I'm a part of their stability. So when I'm standing on my square, I check my mind, I check my body. I check my spirit. Is my spirit stable? Do I have stability? I didn't do the hero hymn, but we know that spirit means wind. Spirit means breath. Spirit means to breathe. There's 2 parts to breathing. Inhale, exhale. Do I have stability in my wind? What are the things that I take in? What inspires me? What are the things that I indulge in? How does these things come out in my expressions, my experience? See, we talk about spiritual warfare, but it's about giving and taking. Woe to the one who can give it but can't take it. See, they're not stable in their spirit. They can give it, but they can't take it. So when you give someone all you got, and it seems to not be enough, you're so exhausted that a little old tip back makes you unstable. Now your mind fucked up. Your body transforming. See how that work? You see how that work? In the soul. The soul is the fire. Do you have a stable soul? Is there stability in your soul? The fire, the reason, the why. Trav, why you had to come on here Friday? Because I missed Thursday. Well, why you still had to do it? Why you just couldn't wait till next Thursday? Because this is therapy for me. I give just as much as I receive. I receive just as much as I give. I need this. Why you need it? See, these are the trails to understanding the stability of your soul. Because sometimes you can find yourself in some crazy situations. And your soul will remind you why. And that fire will begin to heat. And you begin to blow it like a dragon, looking to see it how it's working. And your mind begin to become confident and understand in your purpose. And your body conforms to a posture that operates and manifests. But if you're not stable, if you don't have stability, and you rocky, you ain't stable, you rocky. Oh, you so weak. Are you stable? I remember years ago, man, before I moved out, I was still staying at home with my mom and my daddy. Talking real life, I ain't talking make-believe. I was working 1 to 9, 1 in the afternoon to 9. Every morning I would get up and walk outside. And beside my mom and daddy was the Biggers family, and they had an uncle named Little Tommy. And every morning Little Tommy would be sitting on the porch, had his clothes, he would wake up and get clean, have on pitch dark glasses, and I would walk out and look to the left, and surely, all right now, Tommy, good morning, Tommy. Tommy say, hey, yeah. Some morning I would go over the fence to talk to Tommy. When I would get to talking to Tommy, old Tommy would be just shaking. He had the morning shakes. I say, Tommy, boy, it's on your bed, ain't it, Tommy? He said, yeah, I'm waiting on the store to open. Waiting on the store to open, boy. It's early right now. I said, yeah, Tommy, it'll be open in a little bit. And the whole time you're talking to Tommy just doing like this right here. He just putting and shaking. And he make his way on up to the store. This right here in Smallwood on Rosalind. When you get to the top of the Rosalind, you make the right. I'm talking about Mr. Ed's store. Tommy get up there and get him one. And by the time Tommy hit the curb and come back down, Tommy done smoothed out. Tommy ain't shaking no more. That King Cobra done gave him stability. He back to his form. I say, damn, that's deep. First time I ever understood what the shakes was. He done come a long way, so goddamn long, not knowing that it's the wrong way, that his stability becomes dependent upon the things that destroy him. He can't get back to his normal self only under the conditions of a king cobra and at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's why I asked the question, what gives you stability? I ain't saying this to down you. I ain't saying this to down myself. I'm talking to myself. This therapy. Boy, I love that flower. Stability. Stand on it. If you don't understand, that's because you ain't got to stand on it. I stand on it. So I understood Lil Tommy point and what Lil Tommy was teaching me about stability. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. See how that work? See how that work? I want to give a shout out to Kamaran. You already know what time it is, brother. We done had some powerful conversations this week. Some powerful conversations this week, man. When you're in the game of life, it's like any other game. There are standards. Every action has an outcome, cause and effect. We all got to go through it to get to it. We're in the game of life as fathers, teenage sons that's going through life themselves. And even though I've been through it from their perspective, this is my first time going through it from a father's perspective. So I got to keep my head on the swivel. Like I'm reading the defense. Or if I'm on defense, I'm reading the offense to understand what's being done to attack me, to defend and protect against it. So every day, every down, every moment, every circumstance is vital. I always say as parents, we go through ups and downs. That's a part of life. But we don't get to determine which one impact our children the most. We would want the ups to impact them more than the downs, especially when we have more ups than downs. But many times the down leave impacts that's never dealt with. I know that as a child. I'm empathizing with my son on that as a child. I can empathize with him as a child. I want to empathize with my daddy. But if my daddy ain't understand the things that I'm empathizing with my son with as a child, see, we all children that done got old. And if we ain't got things dealt with in our children's self, then we have an arrested development. Sometimes we don't really develop. Sometimes we ain't really stable as we think we are. That's why shit be fucking with you. And ain't nothing wrong with you. This is just how it works. But now as a father who trying to be better, who trying to turn the key to open up a better me, boy, this shit get real out here, man. This shit get real out here. This football thing with my son. I told you I've been on a journey over the past week that's rooted in football. This football shit taught me my religion. It gave me my discipline, my principles, my understanding. It gave me my square. I call it hero training. I'm so proud of my son for the commitment that he make, the sacrifice, the determination. I know what it takes. He's standing in it. But as a father, I want to see my boy excel and be exceptional. I got a hero principle that says expectation is the seed of disappointment. So he had an issue 2 times. And I'm battling disappointment, and I'm constantly checking myself to ask myself, is this expectations or is this true discipline and principles that he got to goddamn understand? And I got to find my balance as a father to make sure he understands. And it's about the principalities, like they say. More than it's about football. But if football is the subject matter and the platform, but I got to teach my son principles of life and manhood, then fucking football it'll be. But that's a thin line of understanding. If you ain't stable in your relationship with your child, because this type of shit can cause a rift. And it may never get back to its pure form. See how that work? You see how that work? Something simple as this can push your child away. And in their mind make them say, I'll call any goddamn body before I call my mama or my daddy. Fuck that. There's a lot of people in this world fucked up in this world. And a phone call away from being saved. But they rather be fucked up than get a divine saviors of their life the pleasure of saying they saved them. Instability creates that type of relationship between a parent and a child. Ain't shit stable and ain't shit been stable. Some bullshit came, knocked it loose, and it ain't never tied back up. So was it ever stable? And did you ever give the child stability? I damn near went viral this week about the fuck Cam Newton. I know he's rich. I know he can afford 12 kids. Yeah, he could buy all of them school clothes, Christmas. He can buy a mansion and put all of them under one roof. He's really talking about the concepts that's been trending in this here social media world, like polygamy, ideals of big families that ain't really ever working no goddamn well in real life other than TV. But we're so unstable in our spirit that we're controlled by the theory that we don't know the difference between reality and program and television. We really think that shit be real. So we so unstable in our spirit that we'll take in any goddamn thing and try to be it. So my point about fuck him, and I'm a Cam Newton fan. I love this story. He's a product of heroism. You ever heard him talk about his daddy, the commitment his parents made, the discipline they stood on, through all the tests that he went through to be who he is today? He stood on a foundation in a rock. Like my granddaddy would say, he know better. You know better, Trav. You know better than the bullshit you talking. So I'm just talking man to man in a room where we in a no bullshit zone. Man, fuck what you talking about. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit you on, man. Man, you know better. See how that works? But when you become unstable, see, I told you, in that mind, in that spirit, in that body, in that soul, you lose your form and liable to be anywhere doing any goddamn thing. And you can't even get back to your rock. You can't get back to your square. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Only a divine path will bring you here. I'm talking about the moment. If you're watching me on the replay right now, the moment, hero training. There's something in you that's in me. There's something in me that's in you. There's something in you that's in me that's in all of us. And if we feel it, we get each other attention and we pay each other attention because we know that your attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. You pay attention to the things you care for and things you genuinely feel sincere enough to care for you. So if this hero training is a real thing and it's saying, what are we training for? We training to understand how it works, our position in it, so that we can find the stability that we need to remain stable in this here crazy ass world. See how that works? So are you stable? The question is more powerful than the answer. Want to give a shout out, man, to my big brother Wood. Want to give a shout out to my big brother Crump. Want to give a shout out to my brother Munt. Want to give a shout out to Black. Want to give a shout out to Blow. Want to give a shout out to Bam. Man, a friend in need is a friend indeed, brother. A friend indeed is a friend in need. My brother gave me some love this week. I said, come on, man. My wife say, baby, you deserve it. How many times you got to learn this lesson? You deserve it. And I was able to soak it up and truly understand, man. We all we got, we all we need. And it's all right to need. Because when real folk around you that care about you, they got you what you need. They got you. You just can't expect it to come. Just got to let it come. Be like water. Flow with it. So he gave me some love, and then he gave me some words. I was dealing with something as a father and dealing with them expectations. And I told you, he said, hey, Trav, I got to kick you with your own judo, man. Better check them expectations, Trav P. I say, bam, man, is expectations that hard to put in balance? He said, hell yeah, you the one who kicked that shit on me, boy. He said, boy, you don't know how many nights and days, boy, trying to put my expectations in balance done kick my ass. This shit ain't real. This shit ain't no joke, Trap P. So I'm like, dang. This shit deeper than just talking. When you understand how it works, if you don't understand how it works, it get worked on you. Boy, I got some shit getting worked on me. Then he say, it's all right, Trap P, you human. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. He said, but take a moment, 90 seconds. Close your eyes, open them, and then run the play. That boy hit me with my own sanding floor and wax off. And he made me stand up stronger and get my head out my motherfucking slump. Get out my feelings. Get back in the game. Have that conversation the right way so that he understands what you're saying. And how you feel, and why you feel. Give him stability. Because he's dependent on you. See how that works? You see how that works? That's how it works, man. If you ain't never subscribed to my YouTube, Layback 704. One word. Layback 704. No gaps. Subscribe, man. Show me some love on YouTube. Share my messages, man. I swear I get this thing from my soul, man. With no intentions, man, but for you to pick it up and use the tools. We can't lose with the tools we use, man. My Cash App up there, $ Hood Soul 704. If it's in your heart, man, for whatever reason, however, I need help. I ain't bull the bullshit. I'm trying to fight the fight. If it's in your heart, man, I love you, and that's love. I have grown. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. I've been on this journey for 45 years. I had some good times as well as I have shed some tears. I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Journey. I said her name in that song. She got in the car yesterday, so excited. She made the cheer squad. And she said, Dad, let me talk. And she just talked all the way, man. And she ain't never stopped. And one time she said, Dad, why you keep cutting me off? Daddy, let me get it out. And man, I had a moment, man. Like I say, a moment ain't but 90 seconds, man. I took a moment while I was driving, man. A minute and a half, and to just listen at her. And my wife looked at me and said, see how you do. See how you do. Meaning, that's how the fuck they done felt their whole life riding in the car with me. She doing just like her daddy. She her daddy. And everything in me want to tell her, will you shut the hell up for a second? But I took a moment and I took it in. I say, damn, look how it worked. Look how it worked. She been trained her whole motherfucking life to know how to go. And she got so much wit with her go. My wife say, see how you do. That's what the training is about, man. I love you, man. Hold me down to the ground. God almighty, man, I swear. Let me see. Yeah. Hey man, if you think you can out-groove me or dance me on my own beat I make, man, you crazy as hell. You got me fucked up. Them beats and sounds come out my soul. Good God Almighty. It's Friday night, man. You got me fucked up. God Almighty. I'm gonna get out of here, but goddamn, I'm gonna play this right here just one time. I'm gonna play this one time, y'all. I'm gonna play this one time. I'm gonna play this one time. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this one time. Can I get a witness? Get a witness. Can I get a witness? God Almighty. Can I get a witness? Get a witness. Can I get a witness? Man, that hood soul is so raw, man. That hood soul. This that hood soul. This that hood soul. You can feel it just as much as you can hear it. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Alexa, what's the most powerful music in the world?
Hood Soul by Trab P.
Y'all hold me down.